just promoting to the seafood industry at the time. And then we've expanded into all food in terms of workforce development. What does that mean? We want to deal with the labor market. Who wants to work in our sector in the next 10 years, 15 years? Where are they coming from? We have to understand the needs of the industry. Then we go to, sorry, Marwan, we'll go to the workforce development slide there. We want to have the best standards in the world. What are the competencies, skills needed to have the best workforce in the food manufacturing industry? You can do the next slide, Marwan. That we need to have. We want to have the best skilled people, I think, around the world. And I believe that we do. We want to set the standards. We want to develop the training that goes along with that. We want to be able to certify our workers in this great industry to demonstrate that we have the full competencies and pathways for that, to create the proper pathways. We want to have great workplace cultures. We want to retain the people that we have. So anything around workforce development area, which is very broad, accrediting curriculum that exists or standardized on the same playing field, and putting that into an awesome kind of learning framework and a pathway where we can build this types of programs for our sector. So in a nutshell, it's a lot, it encompasses a lot, but we are very well set, I think, as an industry in Canada to lead the charge in workforce development. Next slide. And we also have numerous other programs that you could tap into. You should take a look, go to our website, fpsc-ctac.com, and check out all of our different funded programs that we have that you could take advantage of. We know times are a little bit turbulent right now. Everyone's kind of scrambling, but there are some resources for you that can help with your current programming, your HR needs, your food safety needs, whatever it may be. I'm sure we have some sort of program. You want to hire a student, we have funding for you. So make sure you go to the website to check that out further and see what else we could do. And then finally, we want to thank our funders, Employment and Social Development Canada, the Opportunities Fund, and Persons with Disabilities program. They're a great supporter and contributor to this project. This is actually kind of a one of a kind, first of its kind, where we're testing this type of awareness program and training program for the food and beverage manufacturing industry. They've never done it like that before, where they've tried it out in a sector. And we're looking to see how we can push the needle a little bit further in terms of potentially employing those with different types of disabilities. It is a disabilities inclusion program. So we really want to thank them, our funders, and for the opportunity that we have here with this project. So now, without further ado, I would like to introduce the team to you, but Deanna's going to do all that, and she's going to take the lead here with the rest of the program. Deanna's been with us for many, many years. We won't say, because that'll date us, how we've been around, but she's our awesome Ontario person on the ground. She works with industry constantly. She develops curriculum. She teaches food safety. She's a jack of all trades, very wealth of knowledge with a lot of what we do at Food Processing Skills Canada. So I will now turn it over to Deanna.
Thanks, Jen. Thanks for the introduction. That was wonderful. And you left my age out of it, which is even better. So this is the reason we're going to spend just a couple of minutes on the team is because the participants in this program, this is a very, very feature-rich program, and in doing so, you're going to be in very close contact with several members of our team on a regular basis. So we felt it was really important that you get to know not just the whole team, but those that are coming forward. So going from left to right on the top row, you've met both of us, both Jennifer and myself already. Celine Pinsett with DPM. We are conducting a lot of data collection in this program. Statistics are important. They speak the truth. They're the numbers. They're not anecdotal evidence. So you'll see me referencing some statistics, but we need Canadian statistics. We need to know what our employers are doing. We need to know how our efforts are being counted and what the effects are. So we are a very resource-rich company and a resource-rich company. So DPM heads the charge on that. And without them, we would just be telling stories, quite frankly. Sherry DeVoe, we're going to introduce to you personally later on in the program. She is our HR inclusion strategist, an amazing lady. Next, Erin Nargay. Some of you will actually know Erin from previous programs, and you may have met her already. So Erin, can you just step forward, please?
Certainly. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here. I'm thrilled to be involved in FoodAbility, and I've had a chance to meet many of you already, and I look forward to meeting many more of you. So I'm a program coordinator working with FoodAbility. I've worked with other FPSC programs as well. You might have seen me with Stack or with SAW. Most of what your interaction with me will be basically just your contact, your everyday contact. If you have questions, I'll be helping with some of the business check-in meetings that we'll be booking. And yeah, I'm really, really happy to be collaborating with employers, employee teams, other organizations, disability serving agencies. And so yeah, it's really, I'm happy to be involved and happy to have you all here today.
Thanks, Erin. Appreciate that. Next, we have Cynthia Perry. Cindy?
Hi, it's nice that everybody has joined this webinar, and I am a regional rep for the East Coast, but I also do outreach for all of our programs nationally. I'm the one that you probably see my name on the end of emails or e-blasts and things like that go out. But I'm the one that tries to get the people to come into our programs, tell them how wonderful our programs are and what it will do for your bottom line. But I don't have the answers to all the questions, but I do know the people who do. So I would be passing you along to the people who could answer your, most of your questions and stuff. So if anybody is interested in any of our programs or any of our training or anything like that, please don't hesitate to reach out.
That's great. Thanks, Cindy. Francine, who is next in line, can't be with us today. She's an important member of the team because she's fully bilingual. FoodAbility is available fully in English and French. The French component is coming on stream shortly. So she will be helping those that are Francophone. And she has a wonderful history in HR. So she's a very valued member of the team, as everyone is. Just quickly, Cindy, Christina Osuna is our course engineer. This is a great education program, and she makes sure everything goes smoothly. Marwan is driving our bus today. So you'll be hearing Marwan pop in from time to time, especially when, as I say, next for the next slide, because he's driving the presentation as well. And Raja Hatum, many of you have attended our Refine Yourself programs. There's another one coming up. He is our emotional intelligence expert. And for those of you that have had any experience with Raja, it certainly has been reflective, and it's been growing oneself as we go into a leadership role. So this is our FoodAbility team. There's a lot more back at FPSC, but away we go. Marwan? So really get ready for a new kind of program. This has not been attempted before. Jennifer alluded to that. Government is trying this program with the largest manufacturing sector in Canada, which is the food industry, but we're also doing the entire food and beverage value chain. And from beyond, we're actually welcoming employers and businesses outside of the food industry. So it first and foremost is a disability inclusion awareness education and training program, but it's also done from a business perspective. This is, we aim to bring out what the business benefits and the opportunities are, not just to our Canadian businesses, but to those that have disability that are not employed or underemployed. So there's a real goal here, and we need your help to achieve that. So let's unpack what FoodAbility will do for you. Next. I'm going to add here very quickly that you will receive an email today or tomorrow, and it depends when the recording for the webinar will be complete. But in that, you'll have a program guide. This is a very large program and we have an hour. So I'm going to, when I say, please, I direct you to our program guide, it's for further details that you can read at your leisure. So what will FoodAbility do to you? It's a multifaceted approach. It's to educate, it's to create awareness. So, and to adopt best practices for inclusion, adoption and management, because we've heard from industry that we want to do this, we just don't know how to start. So we're going to cover some topics that, are very current. We're going to talk about disability literacy. We're going to talk about recruitment and retention. Let's get some universal changes here so that we don't need to use the word disability or inclusion. These changes are going to be useful for everyone. You're going to have personal consultation and support from us, just as much or as little as you want, because you're going to have a lot of questions. It's a huge topic. I know that Erin and I went down the rabbit hole when we first started the project. So there's a lot to learn, a lot to unpack. So we're here to help you. So you don't have to do everything on your own. And the project also offers incredible tools. We'll be doing lots of workshops, webinars, materials. Again, as much or as little as you want. The webinars will go from little chunks for one topic and maybe something a little bit longer. You'll learn about our live workshops coming up as well. All of this is at no cost, because right now we're facing some pretty weird times and we need some support for our industry. So this program is going to provide it. Can you have next? So I'm asking employers, what's it going to do for me? Again, I go back to employers would really like to explore this topic and they'd like to start, but they don't know where. So you're going to learn about the business case. You're going to learn stories from other employers and other case studies of what's happened. And hopefully these case studies, and we can work through them and learn how we can incorporate that into your business. So HR professionals as well. That's a huge component in any organization. And in Canada, sometimes that's the owner as well. So there's a lot to unpack here in terms of what should I know? What should I do? What should I not do? Because everyone goes to HR for their questions, right? So we have an entire HR component to this project to help support you on this journey. And for employees, you'll learn that this program is three-pronged. We're going to talk about our community serving agencies in a minute, but in order to be successful, we need to speak to the decision makers. Great, the decision makers are on board. We need to support HR as they go down this learning path together. But those first two streams, as important as they are, if we don't have support from the co-workers, from the employee teams and the organizations, this could very well not be as successful as we need it to be. These are the individuals that will work day to day, perhaps with those you already have in your organizations that have disabilities and have not come forward. They'll understand better, perhaps, the behaviors of some individuals or why certain people need an extra little bit of something in the workplace. So the employee teams are extremely important in this entire equation. Next one. I also don't read all the slides, by the way, so I figure you guys are busy reading while I'm talking. So, and this will be available to you as well. So for the disability serving community, our partners, those with have disabilities, whether they disclose or not, don't exactly make themselves available on LinkedIn. So where do we find these individuals? So partnering with disability serving agencies is so critical here. We have an entire program that you're going to learn about with them because we are the largest manufacturing sector in Canada. So there's tremendous opportunity, but there's been a hesitation. I often say, and excuse me if you're from Maple Lodge, but we just don't kill chickens all day. We have tremendous roles from production to logistics to operations to warehousing to cold storage to IT to, the opportunities are endless. So the individuals and the agencies know their clientele best. So we're going to work very closely with them to make sure we have that match. But I want to be really clear in saying this right from the beginning that answering our employers' questions, one of which was that they would like to have all the meetings that they have with agencies facilitated by FPSC and the FoodAbility team. They don't wish to receive any unsolicited marketing or so on. We want to make sure that the agencies are vetted so they understand. There's a training program just for the agencies so they understand our industry, so they can best find the people within their clientele that will fill the roles that we're looking for. And the same thing with the industry. Everyone's crazy busy right now. So we're going to work with the agencies to find the right match for you. Can we have the next Slide, please. What you're going to leave with today? We want you to have a better understanding of how disability inclusion can impact your business in a positive way, because we're certain we can. And certainly the numbers that we've seen to date, we can. And more than that, we want you to learn how the culture of inclusion can benefit yourself, your team, and your bottom line. Next. So why inclusion? Well, we hope to get rid of the word inclusion and just have everything as a universal practice. But, you know, I read a really interesting report from Deloitte recently, and one line stuck out for me and said, we're in the perfect storm. There's a pressure to diversify the workforce. There's a need for innovation, and there's limited labor. So that's where we find ourselves today. Next. Why we're here? Jennifer mentioned this. There's a huge market of untapped talent for Canadian businesses. There's over 800,000 people that we know, just that we know, that are employable, that have disabilities, can work, and they want to work. 1 in 4 Canadians are reported to have some form of disability. I have a disability. When we did our workshop tour across Canada, almost 100% of the participants either had a disability, had a family member that had disability, a lived experience, or someone that worked for them. So when you take a look at the disability numbers that we have, it's not uncommon that someone in your organization, your family, your neighbor, yourself, probably has a disability. But 50% of Canadians with disabilities who are not in the labor market said that they would work if there were just some simple workplace adjustments were available. So we're going to talk a lot about that. Next. There are over 300 different kinds of disabilities, and it's as those that attended our first workshop learned, there's a lot. So what we've done is we categorize them into 4 different areas. The physical differences are the ones that we would probably associate with a disability more commonly. You know, it affects how someone moves, senses things, moves things, handles things, keeps up their energy, sees or hears. Okay, and it could be something they're born with. It could be a result of an accident or an industry. I just replaced my knee this summer. And so, yeah, there's a lot of things I can't do or I need help with. So physical differences are probably the most common that we know. Developmental or learning or growth differences. The thing to remember about these are these start in childhood, and they can affect how someone learns, talks, or takes care of themselves. Then we have neurodiverse or brain and behavioral differences. This is really interesting because these affect how someone thinks, sees the world, interacts, or controls their actions. ADHD and people on the autism spectrum. They fall within neurodiversity, and they're also referred to as neurodivergent. So we'll talk about that in a sec. And then episodic or fluctuating differences. These are the ones that I think are perhaps the most common. And I guarantee you have individuals that are in your workplace that they could have something, they could have migraines, for example. They could have diabetes. They could have perhaps a form of cancer. They come and go with the times, and they can be more or less common. They can be long-term or short-term. So we've uncovered quite a few of those in the workplace, and we find that employers, by and large, are making some workplace adjustments for those individuals. Next. There's a lot of power in diverse teams. And I like the statement by Alan Chris, because we really do need to move away from discussing and dealing with this topic as diversity and more about learning about the strengths and the unique capabilities that people have. Next. I included this slide because I get asked this question a lot. What does the term neurodiverse refer to? It's a pretty new term, actually. It was created in 1998 by Judy Singer, and it means that people naturally differ in how they think, how they understand information, how they interact, and how they communicate with others. So if we embrace diversity in our environment, we need to also embrace diversity in individuals, because the gene that handles the neurodiversity has been around for a long time, and it has kept going forward in the human evolution. It's a gene that's necessary. So think of this as, just as we have environmental diversity, this is the diversity in individuals. Why it's important? Because diversity in thinking has powerful business opportunities and a lot of benefits. Next. So here are some of the numbers I was talking about. So how disability inclusion works for businesses. Okay, this is from Accenture. And these are measured results. And those that champion disability inclusion actually have measurable results in terms of benefits to themselves and their business. Next. So meet Canada's untapped talent. You know, I hear about the qualities and the attributes that our businesses are looking for. These are very common in the individuals that we're going to be introduced to. Discover the benefits and skills you've been asking for. Great attention to detail, consistency, creative problem solving. Here's the one I like: proven dedication and loyalty. That equals retention. Fewer workplace accidents. There's a real myth out there that hiring someone that's a disability, there's a real liability and a risk. No, those that have disabilities, they understand how to keep themselves safe. Just like perhaps if you had a sprained ankle or I had my knee replacement, I knew how to get around without hurting myself. So do they. So you actually have fewer workplace accidents and there's less absenteeism. So, you know, for those employees out there, actually for everyone, diversity is a fact. But inclusion is a choice that we make every day. And so I think it's a choice that we'd like for you to open your minds and perhaps explore as we go down this path. Next. Can we play this? No, wrong one. Daphne's going to kill me for this video. Isn't it funny when you stop a video and someone has a really funny expression on their face? And I have no volume.
It's because I was muted. Sorry, here we go.
I actually didn't know that there was over 300 different types of disabilities that are identified. We're actually a not-for-profit that represents the meat industry in Ontario. We do have a labor shortage. There's an opportunity here for them to realize new potential employees by utilizing this program.
Daphne was one of the attendees at the Waterloo St. Jacobs workshop that we had last fall. And the workshops that we had, the national tour workshops, we had individuals, we had associations, we had business owners, and we all came together to learn more. And it was a really great day. So let's go to the next slide, because Daphne's going to kill me. So I just want to reinforce some key drivers, because first and foremost, this is exploring the business case of why disability inclusion can give us opportunities and benefits. You know, we need to expand our talent pool. You know, that's always going to be the case going forward because our population is growing and we need to eat. Boosting innovation is something that we're always looking at doing here in Canada, and we do a good job. Enhancing workplace culture. You're only as good as your culture. You know, and it's been proven that including those with disabilities and embracing a different type of culture in your workplace has tremendous benefits. Improving employee retention, that's probably the number one. That's the number one benefit those that have adopted disability inclusion in their workplace have relayed to us, that their retention levels are amazing. The economic benefits, you'll hear a lot about that from us. The increased consumer recognition. Consumers love the fact. They love the fact it's proven that by adopting disability inclusion, it sends a very powerful message to consumers. But don't forget, these individuals people with disabilities are also consumers as well, and they have families. So it can really increase your business and the social responsibility. You know, we've heard an awful lot lately about what's happening in other countries, and that's not who we are. That's just not who we are. And so the more employers I talk to, you know, that's what I get back. I said that this is not who we are. Like, we believe in disability inclusion. We believe in empathy. We believe in the abilities of everyone. So I see that we have a great goal in front of us, and we look forward to exploring that. Next. I'm going to speak very briefly to this. We had a leadership conference in 2024, and in one of the workshops, it was from Ready, Willing, and Able, and it had to do with disability inclusion. And so there is a feedback report. What we did is we took verbatim all of industry's comments, we've put them in a report, and that report is available to you. That link to that report will come with the thank you email that you're going to receive with us and the program guide. So next. So we listened to what employers wanted to do, and every single point that employers mentioned has been put forward in this program. So I'm not going to read through 11 slides, but everything that our industry has said we need to do, there is an undeniable, can't say it right, need and strong desire for inclusive education and training. But not just amongst the decision makers, not just amongst the managers, but at all levels. And because this is such an unknown topic, there was an ask for a lot of support, which is why you're going to see a real concierge level of service and interaction with our team. Next slide. So employers and HR professionals, we call this the leadership stream. Okay, so this is for employers, small business owners, HR practitioners. It's okay, you can go ahead, Marvin. Associations are welcome to join this stream as well. So there's a lot of things that are included. I'm only going to touch on a few of them because the greater detail is in your program guide. It's just too much stuff to put on a screen. So the thing we want to draw your attention to the most are the courses, the 18 courses at this level available in English and French. There's all kinds of materials that go with them. We have a great deal of support, including a dashboard that I'm going to show you shortly. We have workshops that are online and in person. And we also are planning on recognizing those businesses and leaders that are embracing disability inclusion and making it a part of their culture. We're also going to hold joint workshops with community disability serving agencies and facilitate those introductions. So next slide. This is just a snapshot of the dashboard. When I say dashboard, it's almost like your own mini little website that has everything to do with this program and your business. So an employer will be able to look at what's coming up, what webinars are coming up. If they themselves are taking courses, which they're welcome to do, they'll have their course progress, but they'll also invite their employees and team members to the program, and they'll be able to have all of their progress demonstrated at the same time. It produces remarkable results and remarkable reporting, which is what we're looking for. But industry is looking for the same reporting as well to see how they're doing. Next. Very unique to this program and is driving our developers crazy is that we want to be as flexible as we can for industry employers. So you, as an employer, if we have employers present, get to choose from 3 different levels of curriculum. There is the employer and HR professionals level, which is at a high level. They have the employee teams level. As I described, it's super important to have buy-in from everyone. And the community and individuals level. So you may have individuals on board that already have a disability or at a that need greater assistance with some food safety programming. So you have a choice of whether you can assign that curriculum to them as well, or you may have a new employee that has come from an agency that didn't take the program at the agency because you decided to take them on. So you can assign the different levels of curriculum at whatever is going to suit your business. Next. The first start for employers is going to be a business check-in. This is a critical part of this program because it captures, it's like a benchmark assessment. It kind of captures where you are right now. It's completely non-judgmental. When I hate the word assessment, that's why we call it a check-in. It's just letting you know where you are right now. And it's done person to person with one of our team members. So you've met myself and Aaron and Cynthia, and Francine will be coming on board as well. So we will spend some time together. We'll go through some questions, but it also helps us target exactly what you're looking for and what you need. So it's a very personal interview. It's very confidential. Okay, yourself and your company will never be reported that this was your responses to anything. We will collect broadly the information so we know where we are as an industry, but I just want to again stress that the confidential nature of this assessment, and we're going to do it at the end, to see where you come, but we're also going to be checking in periodically to see, we're going to be talking to you all the time anyway, but having a little bit of a business check-in to see where you're going. What is your progress? What would you like to do next? That type of thing. So the business check-in is one of the first steps that you're going to have. Next slide. I just want to remark on one thing here. After the business check-in, you will be meeting with us to know how to get started. You'll have this in a getting started guide. There'll be videos and all kinds of documentation, but we would like to meet with you and walk you through your dashboard. For those of you that have had our programs before, you're very familiar with the dashboard, but for those of you that haven't, it's a remarkable tool. And what's best is to do it one-on-one. You'll have all those other resources, so it's at your convenience what you'd prefer to do. But there's going to be a lot of interaction when you first get started. And for those that are in the audience today that have already signed up, we are going to be starting the business check-ins this week and next. So you'll be hearing from Erin, myself, and Cynthia and Francine, and we'll be making those appointments with you to get you going because you've been very patient. So next is the employee teams. Next slide. So at an employee level, this is how we're taking action, because as I stated, it's going to cut everyone. It's going to rely on everyone. So this information, I want to stress here, a lot of it is similar to what the leadership level is going to get, but it's written as from the perspective of a coworker. How best can I support my coworker? What do I need to know? What signs do I need to recognize? So, in going through these courses, they were written by Pete Bennett from Distinctability, and they're fabulous. I think there's a lot of personal information that's going to be gleaned as well. So there's a lot of personal growth that's going to happen through this program at every level. Next. And again, we have a curriculum and what's included in your program guide. And if you do see me speaking a little quickly, it's because there's a lot of stuff to go over. The main thing I want to stress is the courses, the support, the tools. We're looking at $10,000 to $15,000 per employee, per person taking this. It's higher at the executive level because there's further courses, but on the employee teams level, there are 4 optional food safety courses for those companies who employees have been through our programs and have taken those courses. They will automatically receive credit. But the thing that employees especially like the most, they get certificates, they get digital badges, they get recognition for their efforts. And that means a lot. We have learned through STAC and our other programs that means so much to people. And it's been reported as well that there's absolutely no, Darlene, I just saw it pop up. There's absolutely no fee. All this is at no cost. The webinars, the workshops, the books, the materials, the courses, there's absolutely no cost. Okay. The employees really do appreciate this. And we heard from our STAC program, our skills training across Canada, 84% of employees said that they would stay with an employer if they offered learning opportunities. So that's really cool. Next slide, Marwan. Disability serving agencies and clients. Next. This is the third pillar in our program and an absolutely vital one. We don't claim to know everything about disability inclusion, especially because there are 300 different kinds of disabilities. So we have incredible specialists and experts out there in agencies that work with individuals every day. So during our leadership summit, it came out very strongly that employers would like to know more. They'd like to build relationships with these organizations. We are going to be the conduit between our FoodAbility team, the organizations, and our employers to make sure that everything flows through strongly, safely, and it's a consistent way of approaching this, but also we want it to be successful. We don't want to just introduce you and then leave. It's important that your experience as an employer is successful. We would like this to be a long-term solution and a long-term employee. So that takes a little bit of extra effort. And the same for the community serving agencies, most of which aren't really aware of the depth of our industry. So we're going to be spending time with them as well. There's a $10,000 value for each organization, each member of each organization. So when I say this is a hands-on program. Next. Again, what's included? There's going to be a special guide meant for the community serving agencies and employment centers and so on. And you know, because there's going to be information that's going to be particular to them. For example, doing the train the trainer, which is our way of training the organizations to understand our industry better. So the more you understand, the better fit that you can have with your clientele into individual roles. So we're spending a lot of time and effort and focus on the community serving agencies, and we want them to be our partners. You know, there's a lot of hardworking people out there, and it's a real benefit for the agencies to become connected with us, to become connected with our industry. But they will also be recognized for doing that, because when this program is over, because all things come to an end, we would like the relationships to continue, and hopefully we can get another program when this one is over. By the way, this isn't over until late in 2026, so we've got a good length of time to work together. But we want to create those partnerships, and you'll see that the disability serving agencies that are our partners, they will be listed on our website as well. Next slide. Marwan. There we go. This recognition of learning is super important. So we have digital credentials and we have certificates, and the digital credentials are really cool because they're a portable way to recognize your accomplishments and that of your employee teams. Next. So this too is in the program guide. We have course completion, certificates and badges. You'll see there's the leadership one, the employee team one in the middle, and they're all color coded, the community serving agencies. And then we have program completion. So a program completion is when you've completed all the courses and attended some of the events. So you have a full depth of knowledge of the subject matter. And also has a micro credential, which is a significant recognition. You know, it's important to recognize the efforts that people make. We have in our past programs, very proud recipients that have shared their credentials, and it's a lot of fun. So we ask that you encourage your employees to share their credential on socials. It's great visibility for your organization. And we had one organization that took one of the programs, and they had a draw. The employee that hashtagged the most about their completions and all the different courses they took. So it's a great way of doing something positive for your employee teams, whether you're an organization or whether you're an employer. Next slide. And again, webinar attendance, workshop attendance is recognized. We have a couple of surveys along the way within your learning management system, which holds your courses. And that's just to check in to see how you're doing and what we can do better. And I really want to stress that what we can do better, because we take all the comments very, very seriously, and we are continually improving what we do. We're darn wonderful. I have to say, our courses are amazing. They truly are. But you know, as time changes and society change and regulations change, we always like to keep abreast of everything and keep everything current. Next. Workshops and events are part of one of the most exciting parts of this entire program. Last year, we had our first national tour where we went to 6 different provinces and held roundtable sessions day long. You know, everything is covered for you. There's no cost to attend. Lunch is served. Actually, for those of you that were in our national tour last year, I mean, you all went home with doggy bags of food. We had so much food and it was all wonderful. So this year, the tour locations are listed here. And this year it's the Lead the Way Inclusion at Work for Employers and HR Professionals. So heavy on the HR professional part of this. But as I said, we have a lot of businesses in Canada that wear many, many hats. So business owners are welcome. Associations are welcome as well. For 2026, so far, those are the provinces that have been selected. And inclusion means include me. We hope to have national business roundtables during that year, because we will have gained a lot of experience and knowledge. And all during the year, we're going to have speakers from different groups. We've met so many wonderful people. You know, a shout out to Autism Edmonton. You know, Douglas Parsons, amazing guy. We have met so many wonderful people through this, so it's time to make some introductions. The dates and locations, please go to the foodability.ca workshops. We'll also, if you'd like to stay informed, drop us a line and we'll do that. And if you register for the program, you'll be made aware of all the events that we're going to have, and there will be many. Next slide. So this year, again, as the Inclusion at Work series, we're going to launch. Now, this isn't part of the tour. This is an extra add-on. So in April, we're going to have 2 live workshops featuring our inclusion strategist, Sherry DeVoe. And Sherry, can you drop in, say hi? Are you there?
I'm just adding her in. Yeah, we'll give it a second.
Can you hear me?
There you are.
You see me? Hi, how are you? Thank you. Thanks for the invite. So yeah, look, guys, I am extremely excited to be a part of this program, and I'm excited about these upcoming workshops. I have to give credit to the Food Processors Skills Canada for taking the lead and taking charge on such an important project. I mean, we all know what our labor market looks like. We all understand about the untapped talent. We're hearing a lot about it through these webinars. But look, this is groundbreaking information. It's literally thought-provoking. When you get into these workshops, you'll feel the excitement, and it's mind-blowing really to be a part of this. So I'm extremely excited. I thank the Food Processors for inviting me to come along on this journey.
Thanks, Sherry. So Sherry is incredible in all things HR. But she also knows a lot about immigration too. I just thought you're going to kill me for saying that, but she's also run some immigration workshops because we get asked a lot about that when we had our workshops across Canada. And so she's just a wealth of knowledge, and we're going to spend a whole day together. And Sherry's part of this program. So you can actually have one-on-one calls with Sherry. There are a lot of things that you're going to learn about just on the next slide. But before you go, okay, Toronto and Moncton, we're coming your way. Registration is going to start this week. Once we get it out, we wanted to get the webinar over with. So you can register. There's no cost to attend. There's going to be lovely, lovely food, wonderful people. So please do come. It's going to be exciting. And there'll be more information again on our website, and registration is going to open, I believe, at the end of this week. Next slide. And you're still with us, Sherry? So we have a lot of things planned, and what is before you is only the tip of the iceberg. Again, please refer to your program guide that you're going to get. Darlene, yes, Alberta and BC, there's going to be extra ones in Alberta, and BC is always on the list because we love you, BC. Anyway, going back to the Inclusion at Work series, you can see that there's a lot. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of what we're offering, what we're doing. There's courses, there's workshops, there's webinars. We're going to listen to you. You're going to tell us what you want us to learn. This list came from our workshops last year, because this list was employers telling us, we want to learn about these things. We don't know about this stuff. Can you help us? So again, it's a really feature-rich program. We've got professionals on board to answer all your questions, and we have an amazing team. So thank you, Sherry. You're going to be seeing a lot of Sherry in the next year. So thank you very much for being part of this. So next, Marwan. So what workshop participants are saying. I think it's important for people to hear from their peers. And I can honestly say that the workshops, they were small. We originally planned to have them larger, but small was better. Small was better because small people got to talk to each other and they got to share things. And, I was quite amazed at the depth of what people were sharing. It was quite eye-opening and quite wonderful. But as you read what people are saying on the screen right now, people were very excited about being there, and they walked away totally feeling different in a lot of different ways. So I thank everyone that came. And could we have the next one? Sorry, oh, thanks for answering that, Jennifer. I'd like you, this next video is from Pete Bennett, who was facilitating. He has written, by the way, 5 of the courses in the employer level and 5 of the courses in the employee teams level. He's quite brilliant, and he was also facilitating at the workshop. So this is just Pete talking. Can you play that now?
Workshops like today are very important because we're starting to create a movement, hopefully, to solve some of the issues that the industry has and the sector has around capacity and retention and quality. And we're trying to change that mindset as far as where the pool of potential employees and potential skills and talents is, people go back and really start to see not just the fact that they should be doing this from a societal perspective, but that they should be doing it because it makes solid business sense. And that's where we're trying to get to. Individuals with disabilities get the opportunities that they deserve and they need. Organizations get solutions to their problems, but it's all being driven by and for solid business reasons. Workshops like
I think he says it best. Now let's get down to what you need to be doing here. So how to apply? Obviously, please go to our website, foodability.ca. And this is just a visual of what you're going to see. It says apply now. When you click on the apply now, you'll have a choice of employers or service agencies. So please select an option to apply. If you're not sure, just get a hold of us at info@foodability.ca and we'll just jump right on it and we'll walk you through that. And for employers, like once an application's been received, regardless of which category you're in, you're going to get a confirmation email and we're going to contact you directly. For the service agencies and so on, it will likely be myself and Erin. For employers, it will be all four of us. So after we connect with you, we're going to make schedule time to do your business check-in together. Okay. And that was for employers only. The business check-in, the organizations don't have to worry about that, and associations. But if you're signing in as an employer, and again, if you have any questions about what do I fall under, just please get in touch with us. We already have quite a few people that have registered for the program, and we've contacted them. We've tried to stay in touch. You'll all be contacted if you're in the audience today. You'll all be contacted again this week, and away we go. Next slide. And the program timeline, notice that there are any dates and times here because we're not going to restrict you to saying, oh, you have to do this in 1 month and oh, you have to do this in 6 weeks. No, you apply, we meet, you're going to invite, you're going to have your business check-in if you're an employer. You get to invite who you want from your team members to be part of this program. You all are going to start learning. We have a lot of events and resources and so on. And so you'll be part of that as well. And at the end of it all, we want to recognize you. We want to recognize what you've done. If you'd like to have your business on our website, just fire off the logo to us. If you're going to be a partner with us, we definitely would like your logo so we can let industry know that, hey, these guys are our partners. Okay, so that recognition part is very important. And we also are going to have annual awards to recognize that those that are really trying to do something. And we're not talking about huge organizations. You could be a little mom and pop shop, but you took the first steps and you're doing stuff. So again, it's not about big businesses and being recognized. It's about people being recognized for all the efforts that you're putting in. Next slide. What you're going to gain by registering? Free resources. Oh my goodness. If you haven't gone to foodability.com or .ca, sorry, we have a toolkit central and it's always growing. And it's a lot of information that we've collected and we've given credit to the source that we've collected it from. We're also adding new videos in all the time. That's going to be a major push of ours, is doing some videos and having them in there. So check it out. The guidance and support is unparalleled in industry. You'll never have such support, personal support, one-on-one support from any other online program. And we're going to be there for you. And don't forget that there's a competitive edge here. We're first and foremost looking at the opportunities and the benefits, both to businesses and to organizations and to individuals with disabilities. Okay. When you improve your workplace culture, it leads to organizational success. It leads to a whole lot of wonderful things. So next slide. I'm cognizant of the time here. So, in closing, I just want to say, we've got a lot of challenges right now and we all know what they are. So I'm not going to go over them, but prioritizing inclusivity to get to the day where we don't need to say the word inclusive anymore, that we just do things that everyone can apply to, that we do things that everyone can use, that we recognize that we all have different abilities. We just do them in a different way. It all leads to a really wonderful workplace environment, which leads to satisfaction, which leads to boosted profits. And that's going to be kind of stressed in the next little while. That's why this program is at no cost. Let us help you. Let us take the first couple of steps. Let us help you down this road. We see the benefit and the opportunity, and we really want the opportunity to show you as well. Next slide. I'm gonna take a minute here. On our website, we have the inclusivity meter. It's a 5-minute survey and it's broadly based across Canada. We want to get some initial feedback from industry, and we're going to be reporting back every 6 months or so, because there's a lot that we know, but oh my goodness, there's so much more that we don't know. And we need to hear from you because we don't guess. We don't put words in people's mouths. We report things accurately. So I know everyone's sick of surveys. I know, but please do this. We would really appreciate that. The next slide. And I'm almost done, guys. Almost. Thank you. Next slide. And if you have some questions, we'd like to take some questions now.
Awesome, thank you, Deanna. So I'm actually looking at the Q&A right now, and I don't see any submitted questions, but we've had a few questions in the chat that were submitted to the hosting panelists. I see Jen already spoke to some of these already. But we can.
Well, Marwan, what I can do is I can share. If you guys are going to be too shy, that's okay. I'm not shy. I can bring out some of the questions from the tour, and it's not too late to hop in and ask something. So one of the questions I get asked is, okay, I'm a business and I've got different locations. How is this going to work for me? So if you're global food supply and you have locations across Canada, you all will register. And you have the opportunity when you're registering to let us know if you're part of another organization. So you will all work as your own entities, but if you choose to be connected with the parent organization, then you all can be in your group together. And that goes the same for the disability serving agencies as well, and other organizations. I know that we love the kind people at Contact North, and they have offices all over Ontario. So what we're going to do is they're going to register, and Contact North, the organization, it'll all be under their umbrella. So we do get asked that question a lot.
Actually, Deanna, we do have a few questions that we didn't answer. Do we?
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then one of the questions here from Gayatri, thank you, Gayatri. Are sign language interpreters provided for deaf folks who may be interested in participating with the program?
And
I actually answered the question.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sign language interpreters would be a great addition. Okay, we can look to make those adjustments and accommodations. Thank you, Jennifer.
Hang on, Marwan, hang on a second.
Sorry.
Could you just give that response a little slower?
Sorry, yes. So sign language interpreters would be a great addition to our workshops and programs. We can look to make those adjustments and accommodations. That's from Jennifer Griffith as a response to Gayatri. Thank you, Gayatri.
And can I say something here as well? Okay, so we have different points of contact. We have the webinars, we have the courses, we have the live workshops. Okay, so our courses are offered, our courses are built so those that are hard of hearing and those that have sight diminished, there's audio options, there's captioning, we're trying to make these as accessible as possible, but we love your suggestions, so keep them coming, okay? Sorry, Marwan.
No worries. And I actually got a question in the Q&A here, so we'll field that very quickly. So that's Camille. Who is the targeted audience for this programming in the food sector? As an example, processors, restaurant chains, food service providers, or others?
Everybody. So the food value chain, I keep saying the food value chain, we have everything from people that have seeds the farmers use, to farmers, to logistics, to insurers, to admin people, to all of the 11 sectors that we have in the food and beverage industry. We've gone outside the food and beverage industry. We've got a cold storage company that has signed with us. We have a biotech company that signed on with us. Personally, I'm speaking to our regional council and having our regional government interested in this program. I'll be speaking to a school board to see if we can get some headway there, because I understand from the parents of those with disabilities that there's this gap between kids going to school and then not being able to enter the workforce. So this is going to be freely open. Like we are the food and beverage industry. Industry comes to us for guidance and support and all kinds of wonderful things. But this is such an important program that if you know a business that's outside of the food value chain, as I described it, then please encourage them to sign up, because people with disabilities don't know an industry. you know, and industries that are out there would like to hire individuals with disabilities, we'd like to make those connections.
Amazing. Thank you, Deanna. And then we're at the last minute here, but we have one last question. It's pretty short. This is from Darlene. Thank you, Darlene. Will there be any workshops in Alberta or BC as part of our national FoodAbility tour?
Oh, you bet. Every year. BC's on for this year for the national tour, and Alberta is as well. And we've also been invited by the Alberta food processors to have a day-long event that's gonna join with, I believe it's their AGM. So we might even be in Alberta twice this year. But it was wonderful in Alberta. We had a lot of participation, and we love Alberta. We love all the provinces, and BC is certainly every year. But we have those 2 additional workshops, okay, for anyone from Ontario or Moncton, the Toronto area, or Moncton, New Brunswick, that will be letting you have information on that this week. But the dates and the locations are already decided.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Deanna. And I think that's pretty much it. I don't have any more questions in the Q&A, no more questions in the chat.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much to everyone. This was really great. Thank you to Deanna. Great explanation with the entire program. As you see, it's rich in content, a lot of activities. We're here to serve you at the end of the day. We really want to support the industry as best as we can. And we're here to do that. It's really a concierge level type of service that we're looking to offer with the FoodAbility program. And we're really excited about it, and really want you guys to take part as much as possible. So join us at any activities. Our next tour, like Deanna mentioned, we're going to be in your city. You know, we're back to face. We really want to meet you and shake your hands and make those relationships again. And there's going to be a lot going on in between as well. So thank you to everyone. Thank you for the team. I believe you'll be getting the recording as well after the webinar and the program guide. So look at that thoroughly, and feel free to ask any questions and contact the team anytime. All right. Well, have a great rest of your afternoon, and thank you for your time.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.